Okay. Weekly Reddit. My boyfriend and I have been together 5 years.
Okay.
We've always been great together, and there's no one else in the world I'd rather be with.
But
Nowhere in the world would I rather be. All right.
okay, don't get me started on that song.
We make each other. I'm just gonna start over. My boyfriend and I have been together 5 years. We've always been great together, and there's no one else in the world I'd rather be with. We make each other laugh. We like the same things. We have our own hobbies so we don't drive each other crazy. And we've been through so much as a couple.
Okay, sounds
You
good.
are trying way too hard to sell y'all
That's why I said.
relationship.
That's why I said. But like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
She says, oh, this is the, okay. She says, I am in graduate school, a state away from him, about a 4-hour drive.
Okay.
We went into long distance fairly easily. So it blindsided me when he suddenly told me he didn't know if our relationship is what he wants. He's always struggled with the fear of commitment, something I've tried to support him through by trying not to pressure him into moving forward. The problem is that every year for the last 3 years, he's gone through a struggle with wanting to be with me. He wants to take a break from our relationship and be separate for a while, which I've agreed to the last 2 years. Every year so far, he's come back to me saying he was being stupid and that he regrets ever being on a break. We talk things through and move forward. I thought after last year we'd be done with it, but today he gave me the same speech he's always given about wanting a break and wanting space. I put us on the break this time because I didn't want to beg him to stay with me. I'm blindsided by this whole thing and I'm so confused about where it comes from. We're so great for 90% of the year and then the end of March comes around and he freaks out and wants to break up with me. He says he loves me and always will, but doesn't know what he wants. If he comes back again, do I take him back? I don't know what to do. Now, I got thoughts on this.
You know I got thoughts.
I was like, here's my thing. You're not being blindsided. He's been doing this for the last
year.
Like he's been doing it every year for the last 3 years.
How are you blindsided
like, you ain't
by
blindsided by
but
a tradition?
The thing is, if they only been together 5 years, that means most of y'all relationship he been doing this shit.
Like this is not friends. I hate that fucking shit. Like I hate that this whole break thing has become a thing. If I'm in a relationship with you and you come to me talking about you want to take a break, we're breaking up. That's what we're doing.
There is no coming back.
There is no coming back.
Because he clearly, every time he want to cheat on your ass, he goes on a break to cheat on you. And then they go, okay, well, I'm not cheating because we technically were on a break. So I didn't cheat on you.
All right, Ross.
Turtleneck ass. But it's like, we can't.
And I'm actually the person that agrees with Ross. Because my viewpoint on a break is that you're not in a relationship. So you're free to go fuck whoever you want to go fuck with.
The thing is, breaks are not planned, okay? A true break is not a planned thing you do every single year. That is not a break.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, she needs to get her definitions right because let's start there. You were not blindsided by this. You knew it. You know it apparently happens at the end of every March. And you know he's going to come back. So you can't be blindsided. At this point, it's just a tradition.
And it's like, girl, quit partaking in it if you
He's only continuing to do this because you keep letting him.
And then she talk about, oh, he has commitment issues. Girl, why are you wasting your time?
And that's the other thing. It sounds like he's been completely open with you about everything that he got going on. And you've been thinking like, oh, I could change
She in denial of the whole situation.
It's like, girl, no. Like, take yourself off this emotional roller coaster. Break up with that man. Because he don't value you enough to actually put in the work to actually truly commit to you. And he know that you, I'm just making an assumption here, don't have the self-esteem to put an end to it.
It's silly. It's a waste of time on both
Like,
ends.
I've been that person. I mean, there's a reason that, you know, people was okay with texting me at 1 a.m. talking about I need to disappear for a while. Like,
we ain't never gonna forget.
We ain't never gonna forget.
Never. But anyhow, so
I'm like, girl, but it always comes back to me saying, this is why it's important to spend time alone.
And then I'm like, bitch, who is your friends? Like, no one
who
has
the
told
fuck
you.
is your friends? Because there's no way, Jade. There's no way. Even if you and Victor were married like y'all is now, and you came to me and say, yeah, Victor, every year, every March, he tell me he need to take a break from us and be separated. And I'll be like, and what the fuck is wrong with you? And if he about to be out there fucking every
you better be doing it too.
You better be doing it too.
First of all, I'm too self-centered to ever agree to anything like that. Like, once we broke it up, I don't believe in coming back and going forth, especially like right back to back. I'm like, so he need to take a break. The break is always a month or two. Mm-hmm. And then he right back in your face. Like, girl, just let him be free.
So pretty much he get the summer to do all his dealings, and then he come back to you during the fall and winter.
He want to be free so bad, let that motherfucker be free.
Let him fly like a bird.
Free, fly to the sky. So like, if he want to be free, let him be free. Quit taking him back. Like let this break be the last time. Like, you know, when he say he want to come back, say, no, I'm good. I'm good. And just keep it moving. I think
that's wild. I'm like, I don't understand.
Everything is so great. You a lie and a half.
There is no such thing as a break in a relationship.
You either in one or you not.
Either you're in a relationship or you're not. Like, ain't no, we gonna take a few months away from each other. No, we're gonna break up or we're not. It's literally, this is one of those situations where it's black and white. Like,
and she been wasting her time on this for 5. You know how long of a time that is to be wasting your time? Yeah, because
I wasted my time with somebody for 6 years. And I would never do that again.
Just playing around. Playing around with your own time.
I wish Fat would have came to me with the whole, can we take a break? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. An indefinite one.
I wish let's take a break. Okay, I changed my mind. I like you again. Who?
I don't think we should ever grant somebody that much access to our lives that they feel it's okay to keep coming in and out. In a
pattern, like, girl, you even know what time of year he does this shit.
Literally.
Let it go, ma'am. He don't like you like that. He does not like, he don't respect you. Even if he like you, he sure don't respect your ass.
He might like you, but he ain't that into you.
And he don't respect you at all, girl. Let it go.
I mean, I do, but that's the same thing that goes with friends. If you was the type of friend that, we'd hang out tough for like 5 years, and then you all of a sudden, every other 5 years, you just disappear on my ass, and I can't find your ass, and then you come back 2 years later, like, hey, let's get together, hang out. It's like never even. I'm like, girl,
bitch, fuck you,
fuck every part of you. Like,
you still got my number? Get your ass out of here.
Like, I just don't do that. If we cool, if we in a relationship, we gonna be involved in each other's lives. And that's not to say that I don't have friends that I don't like, that I do.
We done already talked about this. Different friends for different things.
Exactly. I have friends that I haven't talked to in, 5 to 10 years, but I still consider them to be friends. But they're not coming in and out of my life like it's like I owe them something. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, it's like, girl, you wouldn't tolerate this from a woman or a friendship. So why are you tolerating this from this
Maybe
man?
She will tolerate it from a friend.
No, she wouldn't. Because that's what they do. They let men do whatever, but will cut ties with a woman over the pettiest shit.
Things.
But let a man mollywop and walk all over their ass.
Nah, yeah, girl. If it were me.
Don't let him come back when he say he want to come back. Don't let him
come back.
Just be cool.
And just like last week's story, there is an update to this one too.
Interesting.
There is an update. So if y'all want this update, say update. Shit, I don't know.
Say year 6 question mark.
Year 6 question mark. Yeah, we gonna let Jade come up with the responses, because I don't know. I'm not that witty. So yeah, year 6.
Because we need to know.
Yeah, because she does give an update after the
they
break.
break, I guess. I want to hear
So
this.
yeah, like I could give y'all the update if y'all want to just message comment what Jade said.
Year 6. That's
Year
what we need to
6.
know.
It's like what are you doing? Like I feel
still
bad for
want
her.
the update from the upstairs, but it's okay.
Well, I'll check to see if people said upstairs.
Because update upstairs, up something.
Yeah,
up
we do
shank.
need
I
to-
don't care. I want the update.
We do need to know if in episode, what is this, 76? So in
So
episode
75.
75, we talked about the guy who let his friend's girlfriend stay in his house he agreed to one night while he was in Hawaii, and the girl needed somewhere to stay. And then she decided that she was going to stay until she was ready to leave.
And the police told
essentially.
him he got to evict that girl.
So if y'all want that update too, I forget what we said to comment on that.
Upstairs.
But upstairs. Comment that on episode 75 because that's where we talk about
Upstairs
that
or update. I think it was both. Whatever.
one.
Up something.
Just say update
something.
us on the weekly ready. But yeah, I feel bad for her because you just know she's all in it.
She's so sad.
And like she's heavily emotionally involved, and he is like in and out, in and out. He like, nah, I got this bitch wrapped around my finger.
In and out of my life.
You know, and every time I think about like people coming in and out of your life and how I'm like, you ain't about to do that. I think of that song.
Because that's exactly what it is.
I'm like,
keep running.
Can't keep running in and out of my life.
Keep on running.
What was he?
I'm listening to that song.
I'm telling you, the songs from then is low key top notch.
So direct.
They low key top notch. I love that music from that time.
Out of my life.
But yeah, it's just like I just want to, I want to send her some like self-help, self-esteem books or something, because the only thing that I could think of that would make a person do that is if they have some kind of self-esteem issue,
or you're just extremely naive.
Yeah, and
or
it doesn't even mean that they think they're ugly, because self-esteem goes beyond just your looks.
It could be just self-worth.
Yeah,
like maybe
she just like her self-worth must not be that high.
Where's
because she's
mama?
allowing this.
Which is a whole nother. Where is your mama and daddy at? Why is no one saying anything?
Forget your mama, your daddy, your friends. Where is your people?
That's what I said. Why is nobody saying nothing?
Whoever those people may be, where are they? Because
my family friends would be cussing my ass out if they knew I was doing this shit.
I told my brother some shit like that. That's why I didn't tell my brother shit like this. But if I was to tell my brother, he'd be like, what are you doing?
Are you stupid?
Like,
what? Like, damn.
Like, you making the family name look bad.
Doing this stupid shit.
Like, why are you out here like this?
He just be angry and confused, like
you can't even give me a reason why you're doing it, because I want to. What?
Stupid.
And so, like, what are you doing? And yeah, like, no.
All you do is feel stupid. Like,
yeah, and all you could do is sit there looking and feeling stupid, because you just know
he ain't wrong.
You know he ain't wrong. You know deep down in the pits of your heart that they are right.
You be like, now you know good and well he right. What is your stupid ass doing?
Because what really are you doing?
What are you doing?
Besides wasting your life that you ain't gonna get back now.
And y'all don't even live in the same state. Girl, if you don't get out of here.
I'm telling you, when you start looking at things like this person think they are entitled to my life because they're showing that, because they keep running in and out of my life like this, and they have no respect for me, it's like, and then when you start thinking about how you don't get that time back, you start being real protective of that time. So when people start acting like whack ass people, you just be like, well, I'm gonna just cut you off then, because you know what, I ain't got time for this. I genuinely don't have time. I wish you all the best in your life.
She better not take. If she take it back, I'll be so mad. Like, girl, you better not take that man.
I'd be like, I wish you all the best in your life, but we can't do this no more.
I wish you the best from afar.
From like, all the way across town.
From across the pond. I wish you well from afar.
If I see you on the news in a good way and I see you got family, like, you know what, good for them.
Good for you.
I'm happy for you.
From afar.
From afar.
Jafar. Like afar.
It's just I don't.
Jafar.
I feel bad for people, honestly, and I feel bad for them because I've been there. I've been that person that didn't really have that high of a self-esteem. Tried to make it seem like I did, but I really didn't. Because if I did, I wouldn't have put up with the shit that I was putting up with.
I was just too selfish to do it. Self-esteem ain't it. I was like, I'm not doing that stupid shit. Get out of here. I've always been selfish. Thankfully so. And I'll be too selfish to be doing that. I'm like, if we break into doing stupid shit, it's because I'm doing stupid shit. Not because you doing stupid shit to me.
Yeah, because that's my thing. If I was with a guy and he came to me and said, can we take a break? If I just agree with that, you best believe I'm already doing
both
stupid
on a break.
shit.
Like we both on a break. You just ain't on a break with me. I'm on a break too.
We on a break from each other. Cause best believe while you out there doing, we might find each other at the same damn party. Like, oh, what you doing here? And then here come your ass, cause now you know I'm out here.
Now you butt hurt.
Now you want to, what you doing?
Crying in the rain.
I'm having fun just like you are.
Crying in the rain.
Oh, Marion. But yeah, I'm just like, nah, dude. I hate that break stuff. And it got really, I mean, I'm sure breaks existed before Friends, but it got really big with Friends when Ross and Rachel.
That show is so toxic. I'm sorry. That show is so, and the only people who didn't sleep together were the two siblings. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
And
oh my God.
Yeah, Ross and Rachel were on a break and Ross had sex with somebody.
He had Rachel fucked up. That show pissed me off so bad.
But here's
Rachel had him fucked up too.
Rachel had him fucked up. Because let's talk about that though. And sure, if somebody never seen Friends, don't like Friends, whatever, they might not know what we're talking about. But here's the thing.
She did have him fucked up too. I ain't even go home.
Rachel, in my opinion, she jump-started that whole fucking thing. Ross was so dedicated to that fucking woman. He was so dedicated to her, and she did not appreciate that shit.
For some reason.
And he kept telling her that her new work buddy, that all of a sudden wanted to be so involved in her life and shit.
Wasn't her friend.
Was attracted to her. She, no. And then it gets to the point where, like, this man was at her house.
Crazy. And you got a whole man. Why is he here?
And first of all, it was the night that she hit him with the, I think we should take a break comment.
That
she's the one suggested the break.
That's why I ain't gonna say she a victim, because I know what she did.
She suggested the break. What she did. Said that we should take a break because Ross was too jealous of the coworker.
Rightfully so.
And then Ross goes to a bar with his friends, the other two guys. They get drunk. Now, granted, his friends wasn't really looking out for him.
Well, because they was sick of her shit too, low-key.
I think so too. But and Ross ended up hooking up with somebody that night. While Ross is at the bar,
at her house.
The whole at her house.
What did she think she was finna do? And it wasn't watch movies. We knew what the hell she was up to.
Now, granted, she didn't hook up with him, but that man had no business at your house.
No,
I'm sorry.
The thing is, it was an emotional shit going on, which is damn near worse than what the fuck he did. It was emotional shit going on.
Exactly. And Ross ended up hooking up with the girl. Yes, he did try to hide it. He shouldn't have. But I mean, considering how she reacted, I see why he did.
He was low-key embarrassed because I didn't even know this bitch. Yeah. So he was low-key embarrassed.
And then she finds out and be like, how could you?
How could he?
I'm like, and so his response was, we were on a break.
And they were, that she initiated.
And they were.
That she initiated.
He was not committed to her anymore.
Here's my thing though, because I was watching, I was like, you got your nerve.
See, like, you can't be mad at this man.
I said, you treated him like shit the whole time. He go out after you break up with him, basically.
Literally.
And then he go out depressed and shit, get drunk, have sex with some random chick that he don't even know.
Uh-huh.
And then you act like you mad at him while that old dude was at your place the same night.
Wow, he was calling you, no, mind you. Because he called her.
Yeah, she was ignoring his calls.
I'm like, Rachel, like, can you please own your part in this?
Them tears pissed me off. I said, I know that bitch ain't crying.
She wrote this man, like, when they finally did get back, wrote him a 6-page fucking letter. Telling him to own up to what he did.
I know. I was like, is this real?
I was like,
If this ain't, and then what she do after they break up? Who she go with? Who she go with?
I don't think she actually dated him. I think she ended it once he
No,
really...
I'm talking about the friend. In the friend group.
Oh, she did fuck with Joey.
Sure did.
She did fuck with Joey.
Sure did.
She had that dude wrapped around her finger too.
And I said, what was in her pants? Because she was just...
And then after she finished fucking with Joey, she went back to Ross.
Poor Joey. That was so
Ross.
sad.
Because Ross had to watch that whole fucking thing.
And I said, y'all in New York and can't find nobody to fuck but each other. I'm confused. I'm so confused.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way.
1, 2, 3. It did make me want. I was like, you know what? Because but living single made me want to live in New York.
Living single did, yeah.
Because you know French is a ripoff. Single. Ooh, in the 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl.
If you had a boy, if you had a best wife.
But the thing is, but living single, they didn't all sleep with each other, right?
No.
It was segregated couples.
It was literally
segregated
just the lawyer and
Maxine.
I can't remember his name.
But yeah, Maxine and old dude.
And then Obi and
I forget her name.
The dim-witted one.
What the fuck is her name?
I don't remember her. Sinclair, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah.
But they were set out couples from the beginning. They were paired up from the very
we
beginning.
knew that Maxine and...
What the fuck was his name?
What was his name?
I know his face. Kyle. There it goes. Shit.
We knew they were going to end up together. They weren't together in the beginning. They hated each other. It's like, y'all hate each other way too much.
Because y'all want a bone. That's why y'all hate each other.
But yeah, I'm just like, come on now. Y'all know. I hate that fucking break shit.
It's
like,
not real.
It's not real.
Yeah, but Rachel had Ross fucked up.
Had him fucked up. And people be so on her side. Talking about, he's the toxic one in a relationship. I'm
like, he ain't. Like, you know, people have feuds over this shit.
They do.
Feuds.
Literally do. And I'm just like, I'm not saying Ross was innocent. He wasn't. He was toxic too. But the whole break thing was not Ross's fault. It was Rachel's.
The whole collapse in the relationship was her fault. If you dating somebody and they say, hey, I'm not comfortable with how cool you are, she should have ended her little friendship with old dude right then. Considering the fact that you was with him before you met the work friend, you should let that motherfucker go.
Yeah.
And then to break up with him, why? Because he didn't trust you around this work friend who liked you, duh. Because he was like, you ain't finna cheat on me in my face, bitch. Exactly. Understandably so.
What he was probably doing was trying to avoid hitting that damn dude. Because he probably knew, if I see this motherfucker.
It's on sight. It's on sight.
He's like, so let me go on and tell her, like, look, I ain't too comfortable with this. And, well, maybe we should just take a break. All right, bitch.
I remember the background music. Ooh. And I was like, oh, shit. This gonna make me rewatch all this shit.
I was like,
throw popcorn at her. Boom!
And like I said, Ross did his shit too. Don't get me wrong. But that whole break thing, that was 100% on Rachel. And that should have taught her ass to be careful what the fuck you ask.
And she didn't learn shit with her skinny ass. She didn't learn nothing.
Because she wrote that 6-page letter to him while he was with somebody else, by the way, but knew he was still stuck on her. Gave it to him.
Why she with Joey?
He fell asleep while reading it because it was so fucking long. She gave it to him. She gave it to him at like midnight.
Wrote him that dang old monologue
while they were on vacation. And so then he lied about reading it. And then when he finally did read it, he said, "Wait, you want me to own up to the shit that I did? You want me to take all responsibility for that?" And he's like, "No, fuck that."
I think it would have been better received if she would admit what she did wrong.
Exactly.
It probably would have been better received.
Just him. She was wrong, and she kicked that whole process off because he would have never been in that bar to hook up with that damn girl if you had not told that man that you wanted to break up with him for however long, which you didn't put a time frame on it. And that's the thing that pisses me off the most with that whole we need a break thing, because they never give you a timeline. It's like, so then...
Because it is a break. They want to test the waters and see, do they like the waters more, and then think they going to come back to your ass if they don't like the waters more.
But I think it's even more arrogant to tell somebody that you want to take a break from them, but you don't even give them a time frame. So this could be. So I'm supposed to be just waiting on you till when?
And Ross was fine. He could get somebody
Ross,
else.
like
I even with the turtlenecks, I still would fuck with it. So
I went back and watched Friends with my adult eyes, and I said Ross was good looking.
Yeah.
He had on when one of the times.
The one episode where he had the brown pants.
I don't think I remember
brown
that.
pants.
The one I'm thinking about is another time where him and Rachel, it was right after they break up, and Rachel had packed all his stuff up for him, and she tried to keep one of his t-shirts, and she was like, "You can't even fit it," and he put it on, and I said, Ross actually had a pretty decent body.
He was the man eye candy of the show. He was 7 foot tall.
And it was supposed to be Joey.
And I never understood that. Yeah, Joey funny and all.
But yeah, I was like,
I would fuck with Chandler before Joey.
I used to have the biggest crush on Matthew Perry. I ain't gonna even lie. But yeah, I was just like, somebody got to stand up for Ross and the people that has been in Ross's situation.
And Monica was on bullshit too, but that's a whole
Monica
other,
was on bullshit.
That's a whole other.
Monica definitely took Richard ass for granted. She knows she should have married that man, but she was playing games. All he wanted was a baby.
You know what? We should do a breakdown of Friends one day.
We should do that. If y'all agree, we will break down every Friends episode. Like, while it's recording, we will break it down. But unfortunately, something like that would definitely have to be on Patreon.
We ain't got time for that
like, y'all would
right
have
now.
to pay to see that, because I ain't got time for
so many seasons of Friends.
I ain't got time for the copyright strikes and all that stuff. So yeah.
Smelly cat.
Smelly cat. What are they feeding you? Did you see when they made it? Smelly, 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 oh, smelly, smelly, smelly. Oh. They gave the girl a video, made her a singer, but then they had somebody else do the vocals over her.
I remember that shit. I remember her writing that stupid ass song.
Friends is still one of my favorite shows. That show with adult eyes is so freaking funny.
We should rewatch Friends from the beginning.
You know what? I think because it's on HBO Max and not,
I can't use it.
That's true.
Out. I need to pay for it because I was thoroughly enjoying it. I'm just too cheap to pay for it.
I need to actually, because I never use HBO Max.
I think it's on Hulu. Don't worry about it. I think it's on Hulu.
Oh, is it now? I know at one point it was just only exclusively on, first it was exclusive to Netflix, then it left Netflix and went to HBO Max.
Let me see if it's on Hulu.
And then, you know what? It might be because HBO Max and Disney merged.
Mm-hmm.
So it might actually be on there now.
Let me Google.
Because I think they all share the same libraries now.
Smelly cat.
But yeah, Friends it still is one of my favorite shows. Like, I will sit and laugh at that show.
HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV.
But I'm sure on those you have to pay for it on Prime and YouTube TV. But it makes sense that it's available on Hulu though, because Hulu, Disney, and HBO Max have all merged under one like umbrella now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I'll be watching that tonight. Anywho.
Yeah, if y'all want us to break down each episode, that is a good one to do, because somebody did say that they would watch us react to TV shows and
Friends be a good
and movies that's centered around friendship.
Because Friends will be a good one.
Friends has a very good one. They have all the controversy from, Joey messing around with Rachel. It's like, what the fuck?
They've had an interracial dating episode.
They sure did with
I forget
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
They had another one too. They had multiple interracial.
Yeah, well, Ross
was fucking everybody.
Ross was fine. What do you expect them to do?
Exactly. And I'm just like, and I tell people, and people always look at me like I grew two heads. I said, if we look at the entire cast of Friends, not cast, but the characters on Friends, not the actual members themselves, but the characters, Ross had the most relatable relationships out of everybody. It was crazy
because they tried to make it seem like Ross was the least like everybody else, but Ross, because he was the outsider of the group.
He was. he was the most
Relatable
relatable.
character.
And I'm just like, and people hate him because he was the most relatable. They see themselves in him. And I'm like, yeah, Ross has some of the most realistic relationships, honestly,
He was
than
the eye
anybody.
candy, like I said.
Yeah, he also was that too. Like, I love David Schwimmer is like, I love David Schwimmer. And he's also a very good actor. And Madagascar was my shit.
Loved him with Madagascar.
Madagascar was my shit. But anywho, that was a big tangent because
Show was we went so far to the left, we don't know where right is.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know, hopefully y'all enjoyed that too. But anyway.
Yeah, we want a tangent on there.
Let's go into the controversial take this
Yeah.
week. This one's a long one.
Ooh, okay. What does it say?
This one says, all right, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
You should never cheat on your partner. It's wrong. Just want to make sure that's clear first and foremost.
All right.
That being said,
I cheat on my wife.
a guy cheating isn't as bad as a woman cheating, and I'll explain why.
Mm-hmm.
People say that men are dogs, which is true. Men are not picky at all and are attracted to a lot of women, at least in comparison to them. For the average guy to have sex with you, he just needs to find you attractive. He doesn't even have to particularly like you, which is often for most men. The only exception I can think of is if you're religious. Now, for the average woman to have sex with the guy, physical attraction isn't enough, although it might grab her attention. The woman needs to have some kind of emotional connection with the guy in order for her to be willing to have sex with him. He may do this by being charismatic, funny, etc. With guys, he doesn't even have to like you, but if you're hot enough, he'll sleep with you anyway. It sounds fucked up, but it's true because we don't tie our emotions to sex like women do. It's because one of the reasons why getting a boner is easy for men, because we can get aroused purely from a woman's sexual appearance. I don't think it's common for women to get wet just from seeing a hot naked guy, because maybe someone can correct me on this. Just want to mention that I'm speaking in generalities here. So there's of course going to be exceptions to the rule. So because of all of this, I'd argue that just because a guy sleeps with someone else doesn't mean he doesn't love his partner. Having sex with a random girl is equivalent to taking a piss for a guy. There's no meaning behind it, no emotions. Men show loyalty by risking his life for a woman, providing for her financially, etc. But if a girl sleeps with another man, since their emotions are intrinsically tied to the act, it means she doesn't really love her partner. You often see this happen when a guy cheats, he begs for her to come back. When a girl cheats, that doesn't really happen. She'll just go with the guy she's been sleeping with. I'm up for anyone changing my mind on this.
Bless your little heart and all your little parts. You sound like somebody that people are not really attracted to, so you don't know how this goes. And you don't talk to many women. You know, you are surrounded by women, but you don't actually have women friendships based off of well, you're not actually friends or actually cohabitate in an emotional sort of way with women at all. If you honestly believe what you said, a commitment is a commitment.
Exactly. A commitment
is a commitment.
Like,
the fact that you think, and I'm like, and it's just, I'm like, yeah, and obviously the men in your life must not be shit either. If you really think that, oh yeah, oh, men can cheat. It means nothing. I'm like, no, cheating is the same. And it means the
Regardless.
same regardless of the sex of the person. I'm like, yeah, women can.
And at the same time, me and you have talked about this on here before. It's not about the act of having sex with somebody. I couldn't give a fuck about that part. Yeah, it sucks if you did it, but
it's the betrayal.
it's the betrayal of our relationship.
Mhm.
Like it's the respect of it all. Do you have enough respect for me to not do that? Like, sure, you can look. Literally, you can go stick your dick in anybody.
Just not while you and me.
Just not when you and me.
That's it.
Not when we have decided we are going to be committed to each other. And yes, I could go let anybody put theirs in me too, but I can also separate my emotions too. If it's just a fuck, it's just a fuck.
That's why I said it's so weird that he genuine. I'm like, who are the women in your life that as a grown adult? And then I'm like, so what you're saying is that since you believe women are more intelligent, that means men shouldn't be accountable for their actions because you have decided that women are more intelligent.
To me, all that sounded like was that he cheated on his girl. She got real mad and he's trying to find justification. And where can you find justification in like-minded people? Reddit.
Because it's like, it's silly. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, anybody that cheats knew they had a partner when they did it.
Exactly. Else regardless
of
cheating.
the gender, no matter, even if it is a random person, that means that they care more about having sex with a random person than they did their partner.
That's why I said
what
cheating,
that means.
When it all boils down, it is
respect.
selfishness.
Like, it's a lack
of respect. You are just being selfish because you are not concerned with what's going to happen with your relationship, how that's going to make your partner feel. You're not concerned with anything other than getting your satisfaction in that moment. It is selfish. Period. Point.
And women
blank.
And men do it.
And women are just as guilty as doing it too. Like,
but also I feel like a lot of women have more respect for their relationship. They don't want to get caught. Y'all don't care if some people don't care if they get caught. I think it's some people put more effort into not being found, but that don't mean that they're doing it any less.
And then here's the other thing that, in my opinion, is why guys are not as good at cheating as women are. Guys want to also wife the person that they're cheating with. That's stupid. And that's when the other person, when your main person finds out, they ain't really harping on the fact that you fucked this bitch. They harping on the fact that you actually made this bitch feel like they were your main chick.
How dare you? Again, it boils down to respect.
Literally, you didn't even respect the relationship enough to just go fuck this bitch and leave her where she was. You want to go take this bitch on trips. You want to go take this bitch to restaurants and shit and be out in public with this motherfucker. What? Who? Wait, what?
Again, it boils down to respect.
Yeah, it's about respect.
I don't think cheating is different, feels different, or is different for any gender over the other.
No,
it's the same betrayal, the same disrespect, the same thought processing. It's the same.
Literally, because when you cheat on the guy and he finds out, he says all the same shit that the woman says.
How could you? You raggedy bitch. The same conversation.
And for the guy, it is about the sex. Oh, you let some other nigga stick his dick in you.
But again, it boils down to respect. Like, how dare you disrespect me? It's the same thing. How dare you disrespect me?
It's a double standard that I think is just dumb.
It's silly.
Like,
they don't get a pass. They don't get a pass.
Just because and even if sure, if what you're saying where women cheating is worse than men, even if that's true, that don't make you doing it even any better. Like, it's still fucked up that you did it. I know plenty of women
that have cheated on a good man because a more attractive man paid them attention.
Yeah.
We know of it. The same way a woman will do it too.
And it had nothing to do with her
being in love with him and him being funny.
It was just because he was good looking.
And she said, well, shit, I want to give it a go if he willing to fool around with me the same way a man would.
And I got a news flash for you. A woman could just see a naked man and be highly turned on.
That's what I said. Maybe people just ain't attracted to your ass, unfortunately.
Because I'm like, shoot, like I've seen plenty of men that I'm just like, yeah, that got me thinking some dirty thoughts.
I remember when I just stopped. I was just stopping and staring like me and others.
Like that day when we saw it, you go. I'm like, yeah, like women are just as perverted as men are. Like,
it's not no different.
And yes, he was making it a generalization. So yes, maybe we are the exceptions to the rule.
No, we not.
But considering the fact that I know way more women than I do men, and none of them feel this way that you're saying. Like none of them harps on the fact that it was the act of sex. It was everything that goes into that. Like
it's everything that led up to it. Like
exactly.
You disrespectful. You just disrespectful.
Because you still, it ain't like you went and picked up some hooker on the street that was just gonna give it to you off GP. You had to put in the work to get this person to want to fuck you.
You put effort in. It's supposed to be spent on me.
Exactly. So, where's my fucking effort while I'm sitting at home doing the laundry and cooking the meals?
And you approaching me with holy ass draws, but this bitch getting trips?
While I think you on a work trip? I think not.
Well, I'm thinking you providing for our family. You tricking off on some broke bitch? Like, it's a whole... Again, it boils down to respect on both ends. And as you can see,
all the reasonings we just gave for being angry, not once did we mention actually having sex with them. Because that's not the main issue. Mm-mm. Now, do we want our guys going out and having sex with other women?
Hell no.
No, of course not. But that is the symptom, not the illness.
Like, yeah. Get a clue, sir. Get a clue. It's not like, different. How dare you?
Yes, women stereotypically are more emotional creatures.
But that's not true because when people break up, like the whole baby mama, baby daddy thing, it's always the baby daddy's causing all the issues. They're like, oh, the women are like, no, she's responding to what the fuck he doing to her. Mm-hmm. It's not the other way around. But that's a whole other.
I'm just like, look, it.
Human beings are emotional. There's no gender
exactly.
attached to
I'm like,
that. Human beings
are emotional. Shit. Creatures are emotional. Animals are emotional. Yeah, have you not heard a cat cry?
And Zephyr be looking at me like, bitch, you making a lot of noise in here. Bitch.
Let one random stranger come in this house to fix anything in this fucking house. Zephyr going crying like somebody is trying to kill her and they ain't thinking a thing about her. It's just because somebody new was in here. Like, creatures are emotional. And I'm like, I think there would have been some validity to this back in like the days where women had no choice but to depend on men.
Yeah, those days are gone.
So yeah, I could see this being the case where women were just pissed off because some had sex with this person. Yeah, she's sitting at home alone all the damn time because she's got no choice but to be the fucking housewife and pop out all these fucking kids and just watch you go fuck other people. Like, yeah, she's probably a little more emotional about it. But now in the new age where women is doing their own thing and got their own lives to provide for, I'm not saying that they would be unfazed if you fuck somebody else, but it's not the top of their list of things to be worried about. I'm sorry. It's just not.
You gotta think, oh, now I gotta get divorced. How annoying.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, man, there's gonna be a lot of work. Or it could be like me, because I know I'd be this way. Man, I thank God I didn't change my last name. Because I would hate to have to change my name back.
Because I didn't change my name this time. I did not. Was not for one. I had to go to court and pay to get my last name back. I said, I'm not changing it again. I had to get a new social security card and everything to get my original name back. So
I think that's wild.
So I said, I'm not changing this name again. I went through too much work to get it back.
I've heard from so many people that it takes so much work just to change your name.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work to change it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And then undo it.
And then if you get divorced, that's why a lot of women just keep the married name. It's not that they like the man. It's just they like, I went through so much work. I'm not going through all this work to get my name back. And that's really all it is.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Please, I had to go through
give women a little more credit than that. We do know how, for the most part, because yes, there are exceptions to the rules. But for the most part, women, in my opinion, are better at regulating their emotions than men are.
Yeah.
So women, and I don't think men give women enough credit. Women are also way more logical than y'all give us credit for too. Like, we are. We
No
use our
jealousy.
emotion, but we also use logic a lot of the times too. But
They don't want to admit.
for some reason that part keeps missing, missing y'all.
It
And
don't miss them. Like
y'all
they
catch the
think
emotional
about
shit.
it. If you admit that we're more logical, and you admit that we have more control over our emotions, what does that mean? That you have to admit who you have to admit what?
That we actually have the power.
Which they'll never do. So like us,
I'm just saying, like,
you know what it is. You
like
know what it is.
let's go ahead and take the blindfolds off. Women are logical beings.
Always have been.
We also know how to regulate our emotions.
Always
We
have.
know the difference between fucking some random person and having no emotional tie to them.
We're not stupid.
Like, we know the difference. Like,
We're
and
not
we also
stupid.
know how to take our emotions out of fucking some random person. And best believe, if you got a woman that is emotionally tied to you, it's because you did something to get her emotionally tied to you. How about you, instead of just fucking her every Wednesday like you should have been, stop taking her ass to fancy restaurants and telling her dress nice and, we're going to go on this trip and whatnot. Maybe then she wouldn't feel so emotionally tied to you. Just saying.
Because they want you to feel tired when they want it. They want the emotions there when they find it beneficial. They go, you're being emotional. I'm like, let's not bring up the fact that you was in this bitch face. You chased her for 7 months.
Exactly.
And everything the hell else. Let's not play these games.
Isn't that like gaslighting?
Is it? Yes, it's gaslighting.
I feel like there's a name for this.
Gaslighting.
Manipulation.
Everything but Christ-like. That's what it is. Like,
and then when she start acting like, then when she mad, oh, she a crazy bitch. Wait.
Did no one remember a thin line?
It's a thin line between love and hate.
But yeah, what happened in that movie?
Yeah, Martin Lawrence got exactly what he deserved.
Because he did all this shit to reel her in. Mm-hmm. And then the moment he felt like he had her, she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
She snapped. And it wasn't her fault because she was trying to let him off the hook. She was trying to play it cool. And don't play it cool with me. Don't play it cool with me.
It's like, no, don't make me think I'm the main one and then flip it around when I start acting like the main one.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, nah, you just crazy. What's going on? Like, you getting your emotions too tied up in
she
it.
Like,
we just having fun. So hold on.
Okay. I'm gonna watch that movie.
Yeah,
that was a good ass movie.
That was a good. Martin Lawrence had like a lot of good movies out. Actually,
movie.
But yeah, I'm just like, I don't like that mentality because it's like, yes, you have some women that regardless they gonna harp on the whole you had sex with somebody, but based off the women that I know,
it's the disrespect of it
everything else. Yeah. Yes, the sex is a part of it, but that's not the main thing we gonna be mad about. Like,
it's the disrespect of it all.
Because I mean, I've had friends with benefits before too, and like I said before, I think
no emotions were involved.
When it's a friend with benefits, and let's just be for real, it's just the benefits. I don't think if you actually friends that you should be like doing like having sex with each other, because
that just sounds nicer.
It just introduces the risk of having emotions involved.
Yeah, the friends with benefit can't be your actual friend.
Yeah,
it has to be an acquaintance. It cannot be your
somebody
actual
that
friend.
You can just show up at their house or at your house, do what y'all gonna do, then go about your day. Like,
can't be a real friend.
Yeah, no, it can't be a real friend. Or you have to be really, 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 really good with regulating your emotions to have it be a real friend. But
I have my homie lover friend, and we have a good time. And that homie lover friend is Victor.
It's not what y'all think. It's really not. The actual act of having sex is not the main issue. It's
concerning to me that someone under 50 wrote that.
I'm assuming somebody under 50, yeah. The way they talk, they sound like they under 50.
It's very concerning to me.
But yeah, so that was the controversial take that I saw this week and thought it would be a good one.
People just say any damn thing on the internet.
Literally anything.
And I don't like that.
And you know what? more
don't
power
like
to you,
that.
because to an extent the internet is literally just meant to be this void to just say what the fuck ever in. So you know what? You exercised your right to say something so
But
stupid.
it scares me that people like that are amongst us.
What scares me is that it's more people than we think.
Yeah. It's people we interact with on the regular and don't realize. You like, so you a married man. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a married man with kids writing that stupid shit.
Yeah.
I
Now
would
that's the
not
thing
be
for me.
surprised.
When I
That's
read
what's
that, I said I would
concerning.
hate to be married to somebody that
Because
thinks
I'm sure
that.
that's somebody's husband who wrote that. That is someone's husband.
Like,
who
you
wrote
can't
that
be in a
mess.
relationship with me and think that way, because then all that tells me is you would go out and cheat on me and then be like, oh yeah, I did that, so it's not that bad.
But you can't do that to me. That's
But how
betrayal.
how dare you even think about cheating on
It's
me?
betrayal if you do it to me.
It's just a normal Tuesday if I do it. Like, it ain't a normal Tuesday when you buying 2 sets of fucking Christmas gifts, you bitch.
Okay. Like, at Tiffany's for both of us.
Like, oh, you know what? Just give me 2 of them. I'd be damned if I see another bitch walk around
How many movies have you seen where that happened?
When they have on the same damn jewelry, like, I have one just like that.
Literally the exact
same engravement, placing, and everything. Literally, it's
and they
the
both
same
say,
message.
From Dick. Whose dick? Better not be mine.
You better not be talking about Richard.
Show is same one. Y'all gonna have to meet them up at the golf club.
So yeah, like, yeah, people are just funny. Men are funny sometimes. I find the stuff that I will see men say, and I'm sure men, like I said before, I'm sure men get the same thing from women, because at the end of the day, women do think a lot like men. We just don't broadcast that shit.
Because sometimes we know it don't make sense.
Yeah.
We know, we go, now you know good and well this is a dumb thought you having.
Literally.
Because when I'm doing fucked up shit, I know it's fucked up. I go, oh, Jade, you ought to be ashamed.
You should be ashamed. Am I ashamed?
And then
Probably not, but I should be.
The devil on my shoulder goes, but bitch, I'm not. That's how.
And most of the time, by the time the devil say, but bitch, I'm not, I've already done whatever I should be ashamed of.
That's
anyway.
What I'm
so
saying,
it's like,
but
well, I can't take it back anyway. So
I already did it.
Even if I was going to be ashamed, ain't no point in being ashamed now I done did it. But yeah, like, women think, we think a lot like men. I don't like the double
standard. I just don't like it.
I understood it. I understood the double standard more for back then when women had less rights. But
it don't make sense now.
It's just like, come on. I think that women have shown way more than they given us credit for, that we actually think a lot more like men. And like I said, I'm not saying that men don't get the same similar comments from the female side, but I see these comments and I'm just like, why do men still think this way? Why do they still think that, oh, women are just all these emotional creatures and you just got to be, they're so fragile and you got to do all this, and you can't say this to them, and if they ask you if you think they look fat in this, you can't tell them yeah. I'm like, if you think I look fat in it, just say yes, you look fat in it. Okay.
First of all, do I look fat in this is not a question I'm dumb enough to ask. Because I know there's a possibility the answer could be yes, bitch. You like a fucking whale. Like, that's an option. So what? All I say, do I look good in this? I don't say, do I look fat in this? I would never say that dumb shit.
I don't even say, do I look, I say, what do you think of this outfit? I don't even say, do I look good? Because honestly, if you still say, no, you don't look good, and I'll be like, wait now. But if I say, what do you think of this outfit? You'd be like, well, maybe try another pair of pants or something like that. You don't have to say, no, you don't look good in that.
Now, for one, I would never ask my friend, though. Now, what I ask my friends and what I ask Victor are two different things.
Yes.
Because for a friend, I'd be like, okay. Because I know it's one thing I'm insecure about in this outfit. That's what I'm asking. I just ask, okay, is my back rolls looking real rolly in this shirt?
Now, I wouldn't ask you that.
Rolling?
I wouldn't ask the guy that I'm sleeping with that.
No, I would never
ask you. I'd be like, come on now, like,
is it folding over my pants? Are they folding over the pants? Yes or no?
Is it creating a mushroom? Like, yeah.
Do I have a fupa in the front? Like, let
Now,
me know.
yeah, I will say, like,
It's different questions you ask your friends. You be
I'm
like,
not gonna ask no dude though. Do I look fat in this? Like, come on now.
first of all, Victor is an ass. And if I ask him, do I look fat in this? Knowing I do not look slim in this. The
because there's
answer
also
is
such
gonna
thing as a
be-
mirror, and let's
He
be
gonna
for
be
real.
like, well, I wouldn't say fat. Like that. Because you not fat, but I think you look better in something else. And you gotta be prepared for that when you ask stupid ass questions like
That's why I don't ask these kinds
I don't
of
ask
questions.
Victor nothing. If anything, I've consulted with friends before he sees it. He never even will see it. Like that, well, I don't know after that time you was supposed to be helping me and I was fucking stuck and you wasn't doing nothing but laughing at me on the fucking phone.
How the fuck was I gonna help you from my house? You was at your house. I'm at my house. You stuck in the costume at your house. Let's be for real. I told her ass not to get.
Yeah, you did.
Because she didn't want that fucking costume in the first place. So I told her not to get the goddamn thing. She takes the thing home, gets stuck in it, and I'm on the phone with her. I told her to get Victor ass. She didn't want to.
No, he ain't seeing me stuck in his damn thing.
But yeah, I'm the wrong one here.
Because we did. I was like, I should have just got the Scooby-Doo outfit. I should have just got the fucking Scooby-Doo now.
I was like, you only got that outfit. And I was like, and it sounds, because before I even saw the fucking costume, I was like, this sounds like a costume that she should just be wearing for Victor. Not to record the fucking episode. He
wanted me to wear it.
Because you was talking about how short the dress was and shit. I was like, and Victor's going to be okay with you on air with that on?
That's why I wore them leggings.
I was like, you know what? If he okay with it, hey.
Victor's a trip, man.
But I was like, I did tell your ass not to get that shit.
I showed him the Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. And I said, you can be Shaggy, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, ain't Scooby a boy dog? And I said, it's a dog. He ain't got no gender. Right. I said, Scooby's what the fuck you want Scooby to be. And so he's like,
but let's also add, dogs do have genders.
They do have genders. But he is a fictional character. He is whatever gender I say he is. And so he's not real.
But yeah.
I was like,
you ain't gonna put that blame on me.
I was like, this girl, you could barely breathe laughing at my ass.
It was so fucking funny. Because I could picture it the whole time. You stuck in this fucking dress. And then it made it even funnier that you wouldn't reach out to Victor to help you get out of it. And I'm just like, ask Victor. You're like, no. I'm like, the fuck? Then you want to be stuck in the dress then? I don't know what to tell you.
I'm like, just like, help.
I'm like, I don't know what to tell you then because I'm at home. And I am intoxicated right now, so I can't drive to your house and help you. So
I'm alright. I got out of it because I wore it on the Halloween episode. So I got out that bitch and put it on again.
Y'all see what kind of friend she is. This girl apparently blamed me. And I am so far removed from this whole situation. I don't know what I was supposed to do other than what I did, which is don't get that fucking costume and tell Victor to help you out of that.
Nope.
Somehow I'm still the one wrong.
And I said nope to both.
I was like, you know what?
Well, no, we went to Halloween City. Victor seen it. You should wear this. I said, I don't know. It's going to be kind of cold.
And it was cold.
And he was like, I was like,
it's always cold around Halloween.
It's Indiana. It's either hot or cold. Mm-hmm. It's either too hot to wear a costume or too cold.
In the last few years, it's been way too cold.
That's why I went to school because it was basically a sweater. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can be warm in this shit. But trust me, I'm probably going to be Scooby next year. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, Antonio already said we need to start thinking about Halloween. What we going to do for Halloween? I said,
he thinking about what he going to do.
I said, yeah, we do need to plan the costumes a little better.
You know who I want him to be?
You still want to be Chit?
No, you know who I want? You know who I want Antonio to be?
Who?
So random. It just hit me. It's so random.
Who?
Anderson Paak with the bob.
He do that shit too. You should put it in the group chat and tell him that you want him to be Anderson Paak.
You know what? Be like, I'm thinking Anderson Paak with the bob. He's loving that bob. Anderson Paak is loving the bob.
He is loving that fucking bob. I tell him shit. He'll do it.
Or Andre 3000 from Hey Y'all.
Just so Just a black dude with a bob.
For those listening, I nodded again.
Well, tell him. I'm sure he'd do it. You know Antonio ass is crazy.
He's down, man.
But yeah, like, nah. I can't believe you've been blaming me for that. This is what I mean. Literally. I'm just sitting at home, likely just watching a K-drama the whole time. She's like, yeah, Jocelyn ass didn't even tell me. It's her fault I got stuck in this goddamn dress. Yeah.
It's funny because it's true.
Man, my life, I tell y'all. Life for me ain't been no crystal still. But anywho, that's a good spot to call it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If y'all want the update on this girl and her break on the break, not on the break boyfriend and what she did in the next update, comment what Jade said.
Year 6. Sick of her.
Comment that and we'll give you the update on these, because we are starting to do some Reddits that has parts to them. So, you know, we got multiple parts if y'all want the update, but we'll only give you the update if you ask for it, because we don't want y'all getting information that y'all don't give a fuck about. I mean, y'all already get a lot of information from us that y'all probably don't give a fuck about, but
here we are,
a girl's perspective.
I still want to know whether y'all want to know or not. I'm getting my update.
Yeah, if y'all don't comment on it, I'm going to still give Jade the update.
I want to know.
But if y'all comment on it, then I'll hold off on giving her the update and she'll get it when we record.
Yeah. Either way, I'm getting it.
But anywho, make sure y'all do all the things that we are so appreciative of that y'all continuously do for us, which is like, comment, subscribe, and
share
on YouTube. And then on the audio platforms, make sure you like, comment, follow, and
rate and review
on the audio platform. So that's like your Spotify, your Chrome, your Apple, Audible, whatever you use to consume audio podcasts. Make sure you do those things on there and comment, share. Like, if y'all could please help us out by sharing our full-length episode with, somebody that would really, really, really be a help for us, especially if they actually watch it.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, especially if they actually watch it. So that would be very helpful for us, because our focus this year is growth. And the only way we can grow is if, we get some help from y'all.
We need participation.
Yeah, we need participation for the growth. So, yeah, if y'all could do that, we would be forever in your debt. And with that, we will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.
Bye, friends.